everybody know where you're going.
Oh yes, sir. It's a big relief, to get it. All the schools, made a great run. To finally pick the University of Kentucky and get over it. It's so much pressure and so much relief and so much happiness going around, at the school and with my family right now.
Just why Kentucky? You had your choice any school in the country. Why did it end up being Kentucky?
It's just a relationship with Coach Kyle. I think what he has been doing with the point guards, the dribble drop offense. What he told me from day one, there's just a relationship that got it overboard and got me to choose the University of Kentucky.
What was your first impression of Coach Calipari when you first met him?
When I first met him, it was great. It seemed like a man. Different coaches tell you different things to try to get you convinced to come to their school. I, sat down and talked to my mom and my high school coach there, and I just fell in love with him since that day. And since what he said and what he did, just got it.
When he decided to make the move from Memphis to Kentucky, when you first heard that news, did it kind of make you step back, or you're like, well, I always liked him and want to play in his system?
It was kind of like that. I always liked him and I always wanted to play in his system, but when you make that move, I was kind of second guessing it, and that's when I opened up my recruiting more and started looking at other schools like Duke University, University of Florida, University of Miami.
Now, Kentucky had been recruiting you earlier. You went to Midnight Madness 2 years ago. What about Kentucky, drew you to, give them a look in the first place, and then now has sold you on them with Calipari?
Coach Gillespie, we went up there for a visit. He went to that Midnight Madness, and it's just the fan base. It was just like being at Word of God. Even though Word of God Christian Academy is a smaller gym, but the gym is always packed. And when I went to Lexington, the fan base was it just hit it right on the point.
I've been talking about making Midnight Madness out at the football stadium. I don't know if you've heard that, but they've been talking about playing it in October at the football stadium where there'd be 60,000 plus. What would you think of that?
I think that'd be great. Even though if it don't get there, if it stay in the gym, it's also be great. So many all their fans come out and support them, and it's just a great time when I was there.
What about this recruiting class that you're coming in with? I mean, obviously any class you would have been in would have been a top 5 type class anyways, but you look at the rest of this class. What about this group, and if you could just maybe name off something about each guy that you really like coming in with you?
I think it's going to be a great class. Like I said before, we got a lot of work to do. There's a lot of freshmen coming in, and this is our first time going to be together, but we have a lot of work, and we got to try to get our chemistry down. DeMarcus, he's a big-time talent, big man that can finish on the post. I heard Darnell Dotsky can shoot the ball very well. He's 6'7". And Eric Bledsoe, I heard he's a great point guard, to lead his team, get to the basket. And Daniel, he's just a big man down low that rebounds and get shot blocks.
Have you talked to any of those guys since you came public with your announcement?
Yes, sir. I talked to him probably the day after I had announced it. That night I had picked it. The next day I was talking to him. I was messing with him, told him that I still ain't know where I was going, but when they figured out, they was all happy for me.